Welcome back, Beyond All Reason fans, to another thrilling 1 vs 1 showdown. In one corner we have Pigz, the player who approaches strategy like it's a suggestion, and facing him is TANKTOM, who knows the right moves but occasionally forgets to stick the landing. This might just be a masterclass in almosts and what ifs. I, Twig, am joined by expert commentary team, the ever sharp Pradith and Bruticus, who's not only great at the game, but will be dropping some key insights and probably a few choice words. Let's get into it.
I'm expecting quite a short game on this one. We're playing on Ravaged. We're playing on Ravaged Remake, and Pigz is going right into an air lab. So whether Tom's going to have enough to defend that out of the gate, I don't think so.
For those new players, I definitely recommend if you go air, it needs to be on a big map, which takes a long time to get across, so you got enough time to get defense up. And 4 wind as well is probably going to not be enough for building air units.
TANKTOM going with a standard bot opening. This is Tom's strongest opening, but we'll see whether he can withstand the early pressure that comes from an air raid.
I would have liked to,
aircon.
Yeah, I would have liked to see the bomber as the first thing.
Yep. Under most circumstances, if you're rushing air, it's good to get that damage in early. The aircon is a very expensive unit, and it's got very low build power, so it's going to be a very slow build if he's going for all the mexes.
And just Pigz went the solar when his energy was almost full and metal was almost empty, so that was definitely a bad choice when your minimum wind efficiency is going to be 5. So see
Another
where that
map.
goes.
He's utilising that aircon well. He's sent it out into the distance instead of just sitting around the base, but he's gone into another aircon. Like if he went into a bomber, he could have taken out the 7 wind that Tom has, and that would have e-stalled him, stalled his metal, stalled his production, and have to restart him.
Yep. But I suspect that those mexes will go undetected for quite a while unless Tom is randomly going to head up the hill. I'd like to see Pigz use the second aircon to build over here.
Start. Yeah, for sure. Start taking some of Tom's stuff.
Yep. Well, mostly just the ones that no one's going to notice. That might give him an early metal advantage. So
so he's already picked up the air
because
he's built a Thistle, the light anti-air in his base, so I must have missed that. He's seen the aircraft fly above.
Yep.
And he has no energy.
Well, he's seen the air lab now, if you didn't see it before.
Yep, switching over to TANKTOM's player view. TANKTOM wasn't able to get a lot of information with that scouting. He only discovered 2 wind, the air lab, and a single Mexus. So he doesn't actually know yet that Pigz has gone wide with those air constructors. So those might stay undetected for a long time, giving Pigz the early game metal advantage.
Pigz only has to keep them up for 50 seconds, and they paid for themselves as well.
Yep. So Pigz is going very heavily into air constructors. Looks like he's building one with repeat on. Oh, he's just cancelled it. He's moving into a vehicle lab. Good thing that he's reclaiming the air lab, otherwise he wouldn't have the metal for it.
I would have liked to see one bomber built out of the lab just to do some damage for the losses that he's incurred.
Or even just a scout plane to see what Tom's doing.
Against Tom's single anti-air Thistler, the bomber would very likely still be able to get a bombing run off on those winds and potentially crash into the second lot if you're very lucky.
It is an Armada Stormbringer, which is nowhere near as powerful as the Cortex, so he will be able to, if he perfectly drops a bomb on the wind, take the wind out, but if it's an indirect hit, it won't explode, won't have the area of effect like the Cortex bombers have.
Yep. I would say that Tom is not using the early game aggression advantage he could have taken when he saw that Pigz had gone air.
I do like that Pigz just switched over the reclaim to his commander just to make it come online, the vehicle lab come online a little bit faster. Let's see what he's going straight to scout, so I don't mind that. And he does have the metal advantage, so maybe I'll bite my words a little bit.
Yep.
With Tom playing a little bit passively. He doesn't need that wind up online though. He's only got the 4 wind.
It looks like Pigz may well get away with this.
Yeah, but one of his aircons is idle now. If you look up here, it's
building
just
the
sitting
geo.
there.
Yep.
Building
When
the
you could
geo
be up
and
to this next spot.
There we
you
go.
he's just going
Aircon
for
is
it.
back on the move.
But building 2 geos at once is such an energy drain. So they do cost 13,000 energy
Also,
each.
the build power of an aircon is only 60, which means that it will take a very long time to build a geo with those. So the actual metal drain won't be that crazy because of the low build power.
I do love that finally he has set up a big wind farm. He forgets to do that most games.
Yep.
Let's look at Tom
Definitely
though.
need.
Looks like Tom is checking out this area to look for expansions, and he's found one. That's going to eat quite heavily into Pigz's income.
They have paid for themselves though, so that's always a good thing.
Yep. The question is, will they... Oh, look over here. An anti-air bot is going to ruin Pigz's attempt at geo over here. If Tom is thinking on his feet, he'll wonder whether Pigz has done the same thing on the other side.
And Pigz is going for the reclaim with the geo, realizing that he cannot afford that just based off the energy that he's got.
I don't actually like seeing that. He'd gotten far enough in that I would have kept it going regardless, because it's currently undiscovered and it could turn into an ace in the hole over the course of the map. Again, an air constructor does not consume a lot of power and energy. Big waste by Tom coming up the ramp. There was no way those spawns were going to get anything done.
This is where he needs to get into the incisors, aggravators, I mean.
Yeah, blitzers are stronger, are much stronger than pawns, and with the high ground advantage and the numbers advantage, that was just throwing away metal.
Good to see Tom reviving. Yeah, resing the metal extractors that went down.
Yep.
Definitely a shift in the metal production.
Only needs to hold them for a very short amount of time for that to be worthwhile. Likewise here, Pigz is throwing away his blitzers by setting them on a move command into Tom's pawns that are moving across the map. Very little damage done here. And a metal reclaim field that's close by for Tom. Second wave of blitzers coming in. They still won't be able to clean up that many pawns.
Now Pigz, did he just overflow waste metal? Reclaiming that geo? I'm not sure. Did just jump
One metal excess.
One metal excess.
No, he mustn't have.
Yeah. Something which I think both Tom and Pigz are falling into the trap of. They're using pawns and blitzers as frontline units. They are fast attack units. I would love to have seen Blitz send one blitz down each side of the lane, checking on all the metals, because in PvP people won't have turrets up at everything. Again,
well, Tom doesn't have a turret even up on his ramp. Blitzers could have just come up here, got in, and then spread out into the base, and had a great time.
Now I've got some Janus coming out. Janus are a great comm sniping unit. It only takes a single shot from 4 Janus to snipe a comm.
This is where the blitzers will come in useful though. With those Janus move in, dump their load, blow up some shit, and then when the Janus get pushed, the blitz can run in and gangbang. Because you've got a critical mass of blitz now where you can take a fight.
Yep. TANKTOM has just discovered the high ground mexes. He did one of the smart things you can do in this map, which is build a radar on the high ground to give you vision, to give you more vision. Oh, looks like the blitzers have broken through, which is... Oh, don't turn them around, mate.
Oh, man. He's worried about the defense when he should just be...
The Janus are in the wrong spot.
Yeah.
Like a Janus just wasted a load on a tracker, an AA bot, instead of that juicy clump of bugs.
Yep. I would have loved to see those blitzers push all the way through to Tom's base.
We've got a doubling of metal income as well, 15 to 29 without the reclaim. And you can see now the army values of Tom versus Pigz. He's got 6.3k army value versus 4.1 for Pigz. So yeah, big advantage, and Tom is ahead on every front on the metric up on the top right of the screen there. So it's going to be Tom's game to lose at this stage, and I don't love seeing the commander.
The commander is in front of the troops.
Hello.
Don't think it's going to be the decisive engagement just yet, but I might be wrong.
And how those D-guns go.
Stopping for that D gun.
Oh, he just got hit by his own Janus.
In the back. Keep walking, keep walking.
Holy
that is
All your
a
units up on
calm
the hill.
I don't have much health left on him.
with a couple of percent health left.
It is a bit. I've moved it. I was looking at something else, and I realised I moved it too forward, too late.
Yep.
That
Moving your
biggest-
moving the comm forward.
Chasing the Janus.
Yep. Janus are a unit that, again, a lot of these sorts of high damage, low fire rate units, they're units that work best at their maximum range. A Janus fires and then has a very long period of vulnerability. Getting them to pass on the side and keep going, or just pass into range whilst looping in and out, is what you want to try and achieve with the Janus.
Tom locking into these thugs. He's got 5,200 worth of metal bound into thugs, and now Pigz is down to his last 4 mechs as he's building a 5th one. But here goes the comm, I reckon. Bringing him out at this stage of the game is way too risky, and this will be game over.
Yep. And this is expansion versus turtling. Pigz had the early game advantage, but he never pushed out of his base.
And didn't work. I was in Aaron. Oh well.
So how'd you go, guys?
We'll just get them back into the chat, and then we'll see how they went.
We're back.
You can hear us this time, Pigz?
So it was an interesting game. Pigz, we liked your start, grabbing the high ground mexes, knowing that Tom wouldn't check them for a long time. Was a very interesting play. Unfortunately, you weren't able to convert that into a win. Do you think that irregular start ended up having you stuck in your base for too long, giving Tom the overall medal advantage?
Yeah, he's not rejoined us, so we might just be engaging with Tom. I'm just going to
You're there,
message
Piggy.
Pigz.
Looks like we're having technical difficulties reconnecting Pigz again.
So Tom, you decided just to stick with the T1. Is that because of the advantage that you could see with the air?
I heard the air detected early, so I was like, well, I don't need to do much. I know I'm not going to be up against bots or vehicles for a while. Some anti-air bots, a couple of anti-air defenses, and I knew I was going to be safe for a while at least. And because I saw the early one, I knew where it had gone, and that if I sent a couple of things in, there'd be largely undefended mexes that were basically free.
Pigz, you got us now?
Doesn't sound like Pigz can hear us, so we'll just
Piggy.
keep
After
up
I'd
with Tom.
basically found out that he'd gone for air, I knew if he changed, it was going to be a challenge, and I could basically keep him in his base from that point.
I think that you did quite well, considering that you faced a weird start. I'm glad you built that radar on the high ground, because Pigz had that little bastion up there for a very long time and nearly had a geo on it too. It was good. It was good work keeping him locked up in his base. Though your trades up the hill at the beginning definitely could have used some work. Yeah. Have you fought pawns into blitzes before, or was this your first time feeling the pain?
I don't think I've done it in a while.
Yep.
And it was the sort of thing, by the time I realized that I'd made a mistake, I was like, well, they're probably dead anyway. So I guess we'll see what's in the base, and if I can make it through.
Yep.
Was basically my decision making for that.
And last question. When you, during the second to last engagement, Pigz's blitzers pushed all the way through your line. Were you worried, considering that you had no defenses behind that?
Not particularly, because I knew I was producing enough that they wouldn't make it through the middle to my base. If I lost some X's, then that was going to be not that big a deal, because I had all the ones around the outside anyway. So I was more than happy to have some run by and basically catch them with the rest that was on the way to the front line.
To answer your comment in the game when you almost got his comm the first time, it was down to 6%. He actually hit himself in the back of the head with one of his own Janus.
Yeah.
You got us now, Pigz.
Yeah, I moved it, but obviously it was to get metal, because obviously to help me out to try and produce more to push. I knew with the grunts and I thought, I bet he hasn't got a lot left, seeing as I've taken all them out. And I was and ahhing, and it just like twig come in my head and say, "You've got that, go for it, just push." And that's what I did. I lost them, but I was, I don't know how much you had left at that time.
A relatively constant stream from my side on the way across. Right.
So it was I just tried something different. I thought, because normally I might in that I looked at it and thought, well, normally I do bots. I could go for but it's a bit hilly and a bit thing, and I thought, no, we'll try something different. Just go for.
If I hadn't seen the early air, that could have gone very poorly if you'd got something to my base.
Yeah, what I was going to do was make I can't remember what they're called now. The cheap air ones. My brain's gone.
Pigz, can I ask why you didn't build a bomber after building the air lab? Why not squeeze one out and just see what damage you can do?
The reason why is I knew that I knew he'd seen me, so that's why I started. So I got the geo close, but then I thought, no, if I eat it up, then I can produce more, because obviously I'm getting that back, and that's why I eat at the. Well, originally I was eating the air up with the the T1 thing, and it was dreadful. And I realised, no, swap that around, because it'll be better doing it the other way. And then I swapped it. That's why I swapped it to get the metal, and that's what I was trying to do, to get more, to get the. I was going to originally do tanks, and no, I'll go for the blitz, because that's less, and it can move around better, and it's got more things. So that's why I went that way. And then I was trying to do the Janus, because obviously it's a lot more powerful unit, but can be a nightmare for your own units. But I knew I was behind by that time. I knew I was on a timer that if I didn't do something, he's going to have me, because obviously, if I'd have done it right, if I'd have done the bots, then I might have stood a chance in the early. But because I changed, then I was going to be behind anyway. So that's why I chucked the Januses up there and just said, well, let's have a go, because you were in my head and say, you've got a few there. Let's have a go and see if we can take some eco to try and get it back. But it didn't work as how I wanted it to work. But there you go. That's sometimes it doesn't, does it?
Well, I like that you tried something different, and I think that a couple tries around and you might find a working version of that.
Let's call it there, everyone.
We'll leave it there, and we'll catch you all in the next one.
Bye for now.